Hey guys, we are here again in Atlanta, Georgia. I am Kyoko Salon. I am your host, Mershele Brown, with the Antidote Show. But today we're with the conversation piece. Now, I've had women all year long. Now I got a brother on the set. All right, I got brother Jermaine on the set today. He is with It's a Man's World, guys. We are taping out of Las Vegas. We are taking Instagram and Facebook, so our eyes are gonna be everywhere. So don't don't be like, where y'all looking at? We might be looking at Facebook, we might be looking at Instagram, and we may be in Vegas, but we are all around. We are global, and these are great conversation pieces because people need to know some things. And so I had to bring the men on the line today so we can talk about a few things. He is with It's a Man's World. Ladies, is it really? Men, is it really a man's world? What are we talking about here? What does that really mean? It's a man's world. I love it to be a man's world. I really love it to be. But does the brothers really step up for it to be their world? Can they do that? Yes, they can. How can they do that? With great support, great people behind them. So, Jermaine, tell me, because It's a Man's World is a barbershop here in Atlanta. And he has since joined together with It's a Woman's World. We women, you know what I'm saying? He's with I Am Kyoko.
Joined with Kyoko Salon,
yes.
At Town Center Mall in Metro Atlanta.
Yes.
This is you really trying to stir the pot, aren't you?
This is what we do. We don't play.
Stir the pot. That's a deep, hot pot.
Yeah. Okay. So Mike is his son. He's helping me. I'm talking to Mike. I'm looking at Mike and I'm talking to Mike, but I need to be talking to Jermaine.
Okay,
so Jermaine.
Okay.
It's a man's world.
Yes, ma'am.
What you mean by that? What you mean it's a man's world?
Well, first let me acknowledge. There's no such thing as gender dominance. Okay. So me personally, I subscribe to some of the original thought, the Egyptian thought of more so being in perfect balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Make sure to speak loud.
So when someone says it's a man's world, that's just acknowledging the leadership role and the expectation, the rightful expectation for men. But by no means this world is to be shared in complete balance and equality with women. When you look at the ancient Egyptians, they always had the pharaohs standing there with their left foot forward, which meant they were leading with their heart. And they always had their woman not behind them, not in front of them. They had them parallel, the same way our women are today when they take pictures. They're holding us like this, and then they have their hand on our chest. They're always right there. But be that with all of that said, I believe and know, and I believe that many share the same view, that there's a special calling for men to balance the energy, the same way there's a special calling for women. And that special calling for men, of course, is to protect, to build, to hold things together. And that's not happening right now. So today as we speak, and we can go in 8 different directions. I feel like an octopus right now. There's 8 different ways. I mean, we can say, hey, when you watch some of the marches and you see some of the social unrest, you see women at the front, whereas 60 years ago you saw men at the front.
Right.
You see women at the front. You see men being killed, and they're not even representing themselves at the front of that line. You see women representing. So today, as we speak, I personally believe, in my personal opinion, that today we're at a moment of imbalance, and that things aren't balanced, and that until the men step up and back into that rightful space, you won't have It's a Man's World. You won't have a man's world. But I will say this, and this is a statement that's going to cause a problem.
Okay, we'll cause a problem. They need a problem.
Today, I feel as though we are a nation of bastards.
Wow. Why would you say that?
A nation of bastards.
Why would you say that?
Well,
is it because there's lack of order?
So what is a bastard?
Without a father.
Right. So a bastard is someone that does not have a father. and someone that does not come from the institution of marriage.
Right.
And here's why that's important. Let's look at what a father does for a son. One, he disciplines him. Two, he leaves an inheritance. This is a transfer of wealth and power. Okay? And he prepares that son to lead a family and to be involved in society.
Right.
So when you have a nation full of homes where there's no father, you're getting children that when they hit 20, the early 20s, and they need that money to do business, they need that money for education, they need that money to participate in society, it's not there because they don't have a father to leave them that inheritance. There's no structure. And you have a nation full of children, young men, that don't have no direction.
Right.
Right. So the institution of manhood, in my opinion, is under attack. It's been under attack.
So how do we change that? How do we change that to get back in our rightful place? I mean, because I was in the barbershop just the other day and I was like, it was like 3 guys sitting here and I was like, women need to get back into their place. And the guys looking at me like, what? Not a female saying that? Yes, because we are out of order. A lot of women, not all of y'all, so don't get all your panties in a ruffle. Not all of you all are out of order, but a lot of you all are out of order. And I say that because we are raising young men. And we as women feel like, oh, I can be the mama, I can be the man and the father. I can, the man and the daddy. And
basically, you're doing too much.
You're doing too much.
And you're wearing yourself out.
Absolutely.
And so, really, we have an identity crisis.
Absolutely.
If I ask you for a hammer and you hand me a pair of pliers, we can't build anything.
Absolutely.
So, today I'm just submitting to everyone that we do have an identity crisis, and now we're going back and we're trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to, okay, what is everyone's role?
Right.
Like I said, there's 8 different directions to go with it, but I just think we need a renaissance for the family. We have children leading us. We have everyone else leading us, but that's just our role. And if you don't have that leadership, you're gonna have blind leading the blind.
Amen. So again, I ask that same question: how do we get back? How do we get back into position? How do we get back into order? And I have to ask a man this because I don't have those answers. As a woman, I don't have those answers for a man. How do you as a man get back in order? To say that you're out of order.
I guess you guys can see this. I'm trying not to go there.
I need you to go there.
You need me to go there.
Yes, okay. I need you to go. Listen, this platform is to keep it 100, and we're transparent. Okay. We don't hold no back. We don't hold back because in order for us to be able to help someone else, we have to give that testimony. We have to be transparent, and we have to keep it 100% real. Y'all know I keep it real. Yeah. I love the Lord, but I will keep it real. I hold a razor and a taser. Y'all know I'm good with it, but I'm saying, no, I don't want you to hold that because we can't help nobody if we're holding back.
I think the situation, number one, we have to understand that we can't stick this in the microwave.
Absolutely.
Like this will not be a microwave thing. But I can point out several things. One, women have to begin raising their boys like the man that they would like to meet.
Right.
Okay. So if you want a man, and also here's another thing. So one is not a microwave issue. Number two, I think the mistake that we make in line with that microwave analogy is that we don't understand to make plans based off of decades.
Right.
We think we can do it all in 1 year or 5 years, and everyone around us is operating off of a decade plan, and they're making a decision and setting their goals for themselves, their people, and their country on a 10-year, 15, 20-year plan. And that makes it something doable. But when you say, okay, how can we fix it? You say, okay, are you talking about fixing it in 3 years? Or are you talking about, how realistic are you?
Just we need some plan, right? We need a plan, a roadmap plan. It could be a 5-year outlook. It could be a what is the one thing that we can work on within the last 3 months of this year to get us in position for the next year, and I think like as women, for us is order. My husband came home and said, hey, Mershele, I don't need you to fill a car up on Saturday because I'm going to fill a car up. I'm going to detail a car and everything for you to go to church on Sunday or to do whatever you do on Sunday. Why would I go fill the car up when he asked me not to?
Right.
Get in place, get in order.
Allow
him to be that man that he is,
Right. So, okay, so now we'll go that way. That's
okay,
easy.
Go that way.
That's easy. We'll
That's
go
easy
that way.
way.
That's the easy way for me as well. Okay, as it relates to putting a structure, the same thing I mentioned about all of this, you have to sit down with your man and you have to sit down with your woman, and you have to say, look, what do we really want to accomplish in our home? What do we really, what's in your heart, right? And once you find out what's in your man's heart and what's in your woman's heart, now we have to get to the point where we stop doing the goofy stuff. The men have to start saying, listen, this is what I agreed to. I'm going to do it. You're not going to go, and as soon as you leave your woman's sight, then you immediately leave out the house, you become somebody else.
Right.
Okay. So that means you're going to start working on the cheating. You're going to start working on being who you say you are. You can't have what you want in your relationship if you're going to tear your relationship down. I mean, you made a plan. You have to start walking it out.
Right. Because you're married, right?
I'm married.
How long you been married?
I've been married 12 years, and I've been with my wife for 18 years.
How was that? How has that been such a success on both ends? What was that happy medium y'all had to come through to make that a success? You had to die to something. I'm sure she had to die to something, and for order for y'all to live, something had to die. So
now we're starting to whittle it down even more. So for me, I had been in a bad marriage before, and out of that marriage, I learned some valuable lessons. For me, I never had a double standard. I never had a separate set of rules for a woman to live by. And so when certain things happen, cheating and other things happen, when I came out of that, I took full responsibility. I think for me, the first thing was, hey, it didn't feel good to get cheated on. So I vowed I was never cheating on nobody again. If you can't take it, don't dish it out.
Absolutely.
And I think most men, they just, that wire just, it stays disconnected. They can do everything, but it's the minute it happens to them, they are like a pure.
They're gonna die.
It's over. They have heart attacks and stuff. They think somebody else got in their cookie jar, and you don't own the cookie jar. So,
right.
So anyway, so for me, when it happened to me in the first marriage, and I dealt with all the stuff that happens in your first marriage when you don't know what you're looking for, and you get a bad deal, or you think you got a bad deal, or whatever it is. I came out of that with some concrete things that I said I was never going to do again. So in this marriage, I came into it wanting to do what's right. And you're not going to have what you want until you decide to do what's right.
Absolutely.
If you're not going to do what's right, I mean, a relationship, the main thing it's about is stability.
That's right.
So as a man, when you listen to women, the first thing they want is stability.
Right.
So if you're not going to bring that, in your backpack when you come, don't come.
Right. So, and if you come with a backpack, now y'all know I got a problem with them backpack boys. Them backpack boys coming to stay at your house and they want to live with you.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for the backpack boys, ladies, okay? Yeah. But it is like first date. You know what I'm saying? First date, signs go up. You know what I'm saying? especially, I mean, I went on a date this weekend with some friends or whatever, and this guy, oh yeah, I'll buy you dinner, whatever. My first thought was when I walked into the restaurant and we were all getting ready to sit down, where was he gonna sit? Was he gonna sit facing the door, looking out for me, or he was gonna put me facing the door? That speaks volume, ladies, as a protector. If he's into you and he's saying, I want to be with you, I want to marry you, I want to do this, and he's not looking initially off the rep to protect you, we in Atlanta. Who's supposed to be watching the door but the man, not you as a woman? So those things speak volume to me.
But that goes back to what I mentioned as far as some of these men, they can honestly say that no one taught them because there was no guy around.
Right.
There was no husband around, and then some guys, they may have had a boyfriend around, and this guy, he taught them how to be some type of, makeshift thug. So they're overprotective. You can't take them out because they argue with everybody.
Right.
So it's just about finding that balance. And so, yes, you have to. Then a lot of times there's a lot of women that aren't teaching their sons how to treat a lady anymore because that thing has been long gone. A lot of women don't want to be treated like a quote unquote lady. So I think for men,
what they want to be treated like. I'm trying to figure that out. What y'all want to be treated like?
Well, for men, a lot of times they get a mixed message. You want me to open the door for you, but yet you want to handle all the business. You want to be the boss.
Wow.
So it's this
goes back in that get in your place.
It's this mixed thing. You're out of your place. You're in your place. You're out of your place. You're in your place. And so, I don't have a script. So sometimes the man doesn't know what role to play because there's no script anymore. See, there used to be a script. You do this. You're the man. You hunt, bring it home. She cleans it and fries it. It don't work that way no more. You got guys at home washing dishes, changing diapers. You got women running companies and coming home saying, "Look, I pay the bills. I buy everything from toilet paper to the power bill." And so right now there's no script. So when you have a script, you say the lines that they wrote for you to say in the play.
Wow.
People don't know how to role play anymore.
So where do we go? Where do we go from here?
So we're getting down. We're getting down to it. We're getting down to it. You got to go back. Let me cut this thing off. You got to go back to the script. Everybody wants to reinvent the wheel, but what they don't realize is this world's been turning for thousands and thousands of years. And just because somebody came up with some popular stuff right now, that ain't gonna get it. And that stuff is kicking our. Okay, so we got to go back to basics. Go back to the basics. Back to the fundamentals, right? Back to the fundamentals. But you also, when you go back to the fundamentals, you also have to accept where you are. You have to understand this is who we are. This is what my God knows. This is what he doesn't know. All I need to know is, do you want to do right by me? Do you want to bring good stuff into my life?
Right.
And as a man, one thing you asked what I said to my new wife when I came to her, I said, listen, I want to bring nothing but good to your life. I'm committed to bringing nothing but good to your life. Okay? Don't come to your woman if you don't want to bring good to her life. Don't come into a man's
repeat that.
Don't even come, because I think you agree with me.
Yes.
A woman would rather you cry and you hurt her heart by telling her the truth than by lying.
Absolutely.
You want to date other people, you want to do whatever you're trying to do, state your business, let the tears flow from the beginning and let it be what it is. And then also, like I said about that double standard, don't talk about it if you can't handle it yourself.
Absolutely.
So whatever you say, let it be. Don't waste people's time. But this is for the folks that actually face one another and they say, hey, I want to do this. I want to be in this relationship. I want to live this life with you. I want to spend some time with you. So now when you say that and you're saying, hey, I want to do this, and you're saying, look, I want to bring good into your life. Now we got the first platform. Right.
We have something to work with. I can meet you where you are.
Right.
We can do something now.
Right. Now we can start talking about, hey, what roles are we going to play? Okay. So when I say bring it back to fundamentals, you have to, in accepting where you are right now, it may be a situation where the woman makes more money than you, or it may be a situation where the guy may need to learn some things as far as some missing modules from his childhood as far as how to be. You could talk about those things, but the first thing is being willing to do what's right.
Absolutely.
That's first. And then once you get there, as far as a man, now you can start saying, look, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be a protector. Okay. I'm going to protect you. Number two, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. Never lie to a woman. Never lie to a woman, because a woman, she may, you can lie to her. She may not leave. Most times they don't leave. If you're about anything or have anything, she's not leaving. She's going to stay right there and cut you up from behind. So never lie.
She ain't going to trust you.
Never. You about to make me really start. Never lie to a woman.
Well, we got 10 minutes. I need you to start.
Okay.
But no, it's for real. I mean, it's real talk. We don't have these conversations much. We don't. And I think that's the reason why our divorce rate is sky high. People decide they ain't getting married, or they decide, like some of these children talking about, I can love everything. I can love a bird. I can love a dog, cat, whatever they call them. These things, they're making all these names of things that they can do to prevent them from getting into a healthy relationship, or bring some kind of what I'm trying to say. They bring in some kind of excuse to the reason why they're not getting in this commitment, or this committed relationship, or these open marriages.
Well, it's not the women's fault. The men are goofy right now.
Yeah, but the women are ignorant the women are ignorant. How you sound to settle for that, and then you talking about me in the beauty shop telling me that you don't want to be in this, but you in this because he paying the car payment. It makes no sense. Why are you compromising for something? Right. It makes no sense. And then we talk all the time and talk about the abandonment, the orphan spirit, the abandonment issues that not only men have. A lot of men have those abandonment issues because their daddy abandonment, their mama abandoned, that first girlfriend abandoned. Then they scared to be alone. So then they'll be with anybody. In the same way with women, they didn't have their dad there. Their mom wasn't there totally because she was always working. So I had no one to talk to. So then they try to get promiscuous. Then they're talking and dealing with any and everybody, and they're getting caught up. And these things cause drug addictions, alcoholism, and all those other things.
One thing I do want to say though is, being in the barbershop. One thing that has come to me as I've dealt with our people is that, we hear all of these things that are bad, that are going wrong. But one thing I want to say to you all today, seriously, as bad as it is right now, as bad as it is, there are so many opportunities. Okay. If we get this thing together, this is one of the most critical periods of time. And all of the opportunities are on the table for us to build one another as man and woman. We have a lot of opportunity, and sometimes no one tells you all that. Sometimes no one tells you the positive side to this, that you really do have an opportunity to build it. You do have some challenges, but really you have to sit down and you have to talk to your partner, and you have to say, look, not hey, what are you going to do to me wrong, but hey, what are the opportunities for us? What are the opportunities? What good can happen for us? Okay, if we just click down with one another and we love one another and we do these things, what can happen? But whenever you have some good, you have to give up something. Whenever you want something, you have to give up something. Otherwise, you're stealing. If you go in the store and you want that $500 bag, you want those sneakers, you got to pay for it. So yes, you might have to give up messing with other women to have this.
Absolutely.
Okay, you might have to close your mouth and not just say something smart when someone makes you angry. You might have to be a little bit more patient. What are you willing to pay for a good life?
Right.
What are you willing to pay? So, right now, we have 30 minutes and we're starting to, get down, but hopefully as it goes through the coming days, we'll start going more and more into this. And this is a subject that's just not a 5 or 10 minute fix.
Absolutely.
But there's some concrete things that you can do to start building that relationship. And there's some concrete things you can do to start making men. There's some concrete things you can start doing to meet men. But on the topic of meeting men, sometimes it's not always about meeting someone perfect.
Right.
Sometimes it's about developing somebody. And I hear women nowadays, they say, I'm not trying to build a bear.
Right.
I'm not trying to build a bear. I'm not trying to build, but
that's right.
The fact is that I built my woman.
Amen.
And my woman built me.
Amen. And that's good right there. That's good. But you, like you said, you have to have someone who's willing to do that.
That's
who
what you
put in
first.
the time.
Like I said, don't go looking for no one perfect. Don't go try to figure out. You need to know number one, do you want to do right? And is the person that I'm dealing with, do they want to do what's right? Okay. It starts with, do you care? Right? If a person tells you they care about you, you care about me? Oh, I care about you. Okay. What's the opportunity? Okay. These are the opportunities. Okay. Now we got that out the way. What are you willing to do to make it work? What are you willing to give up? There's a lot of women out there. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of that. What are you willing to do to make this work? Right. And so you talked about the opportunity. So now you got to do is pay for it. And it's yours.
Yes.
It's yours. It's yours. So just keep those. If you don't leave with anything else, just leave with those things to start with, and then from there on, you can get to the point where, as you go further, you can learn how to build that relationship, build that man, build that woman, build that child. But you start with care and then being willing to be accountable and to put some skin in the game.
Absolutely. Skin in the game. Put some skin in the game.
Put some skin in the game.
This is Jermaine Doss here with It's a Man's World on the conversation piece. We having peaceful conversations. If you're not sure what you're listening to or who you're talking to today, that's what we're talking about. How is it as a man's world? How is it a man's world? How is it a world for a woman? Actually, it's a world for all of us. We have to compromise. We have to be transparent. We got to keep it 100. We have to keep it real. And we have to know who's and who we are. If you don't even know who you are, how are you going to teach someone how to treat you? How are you going to train someone how to teach you? You talked about that earlier. How is it that when you don't even know yourself, take time to know yourself so you know what you like and what you dislike and what you don't like. And it ain't no guessing to the game, you know? So then when you get with him, it's easier for you to express yourself as well as it's easier for him to express himself. I have a problem when I get with someone or they say, oh, hey, Mershele, I want to holler at you. I want to holler. Well, what's your outlook on life? Like, what do you want to do? And if you say, I don't know what I want to do, and you almost 60, there's a problem. There is a problem. You don't have no idea what you want to do. You almost 60 years old.
That goes, you can't have what you want if you don't know what you want.
If you don't know what you want, you can't say, I don't know what I want, but you saying you want to be married, then that should be one of the first things. Yes.
You had someone tell you I don't know what they want?
I asked someone, what was their outlook on life? What's your 1 year goal? What's your 2 year goal? What's your 5 year goal? What are you planning to do in life? And he was over 56 years old and said, I have no idea.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you 2 questions. Was he trying to spend time with you?
Not in the way that I want.
Okay. So I kind of figured that.
I mean, it boiled down to that, but I mean, still, but your conversation initially was you want to get with, you want to be in a relationship with me.
So you got 2 things going, right? Sometimes if a person doesn't have a long-term plan,
it could be just not with you.
That's why I said it's so important to find out, do you want to share in something? Do you want to do what's right? Are you willing to do what's right? And how committed are you to making that work? That right there is a prime example.
Right. Absolutely.
Him being evasive about his 5-year plan or 1 year plan is almost like saying, listen, I'm not sharing that part because I don't see this
going with you.
Right. Or when a person gets to certain points in life, 50s, 60s, right out of high school. People go through this period of time right out of high school where they don't know, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Or they get to 50, their kids are grown, they're tired of their career. They go through a 3-year period where they don't know what they want. Don't know what they want.
Right.
So sometimes,
that 3-year period, you shouldn't be trying to get with a woman. I'm telling you, you need to know. You need to know what's going down. You can't be talking about, I have no idea, when she's looking to build an empire. You know, she's looking to build an empire, and you're far from building an empire. You're comfortable with working for who you work for, which is cool. People have careers, they work for people, that's not a problem. But however, when you have an entrepreneur, we look at things totally different from someone working for someone. We look at it totally different. It's like we have different boundaries.
So we got a problem. I don't know how much time we have.
We have as much time as we want to take.
Now you just went somewhere completely different.
And then our cameraman is.
Okay. Well. Okay. Here's something really important with that. Mershele.
Right. Go ahead.
Men have to get to the point where I mentioned the word goofy.
Right. You
have to get to the point, for the sake of our race, for the sake of our families, for the sake of our society. Men have to get to the point where they get mature. And they start realizing they're not going to stop making women. They're not going to stop making beautiful women. And you can't just say, okay, well, I'm just going to freelance and we're misusing sex.
Right.
And men that don't have any true training and understanding of sex, they're still 50 and 60 years old, just still screwing everybody. Okay. And most times when they do that, they're broke.
Absolutely.
Okay. Most times they're broke. Because anyone with real substance usually knows or comes to understand that in order to build true wealth, you really need to control your sex, your sexual habits, right? So when you meet men,
that goes back to discipline,
right? When you meet men like that, usually they're keeping their options open for God knows why. Because if you're still 50 or 60 years old and you just kind of out here floating.
Not good.
You're being goofy.
Yes, or past that.
Come on, man. Like that's too easy. That's too easy. It's low hanging fruit. And so you really have to be to get to the point where you're really able to build something.
Right.
And when you're in a nursing home, if you got 10, you ain't got one.
Right. Absolutely.
If you got 3 women, you ain't got one. It's just corny, and it may sound funny, but right hand of God is true. You have to be to get with someone, and you have to really be to build something.
Absolutely.
Build something,
not build a bear.
And so build a bear. So, but seriously, there's too many women that are around, and that are saying, "Hey, I want to find a good situation. I want to find a good man," and they're having a hard time doing it. And there's some men that are in the same situation that can't find it.
Right.
So it just gets to a point where it keeps going back to those same things. It sounded simple, stupid, but that's why I said you have to sit down, get a person in a quiet moment, go outside in nature, go walk, get all that energy out, and then sit down in a quiet moment, ask a person, what do you really want? Because understand something, short-term solutions sometimes create long-term problems.
Amen. So, and don't compromise. Ladies, men, don't compromise. God will customize if you don't compromise. That's real talk.
Say that again.
He will customize if you don't compromise.
Ooh.
That's real talk. And you will catch that on the ride home. So with that being said, we're going to do this again. Actually, we're going to set it up with a panel of men so we can really get some open dialogue, We're going to have women as well. We can have some really feedback dialogue because we can go on and talk about this. And it's some other subjects that we want to touch. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in. Instagram, Facebook, Vegas. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the conversation piece with Mershele Brown. Mr. Jermaine Doss came in today to be a blessing to us and just talk about some peaceful conversation today. And I think we lack that because we don't have social skills too much anymore, because we keep that computer, we keep that cell phone in our face, and we don't have these conversations like we should. And these conversations is what's going to better us and going to get us to our next level, especially with the generation Z, X, Y, and all those other generations they calling out here. But it's going to take us, the elders, to speak up and to come forth and to be able to teach them. He said, teach the child in the way it should go. And when it's old, it won't depart from it. But if we ain't willing to teach them anything, they're going to depart because they never been taught.
That's why I said earlier that you have adults listening to children.
Absolutely.
You know, it's backwards.
It is very backwards.
And you got a lot of people that are in their 50s and 60s, and they're acting like they're in their 20s. And so there's a disconnect. You know, that's why I said that question was so hard about how you make a man, how you do that, because when you have men and women behaving like 20-year-olds, then the young people look at us and they feel like we're idiots.
Absolutely. And that's exactly how they're looking at us. So we got to step it up.
Yeah.
We have to get it up. Meet them where they are, whoever it is, whoever you meet, whoever comes to you, whoever wants to be with you, meet them right where they are. But remember, don't compromise so God can customize. Thanks again for tuning in to the Conversation Piece. We'll see you again next week. If you'd like to be a part of the show, please contact me at 2020conversationpiece@gmail.com or give me a call at 678-468-9487. Hey, if you want to visit with us, stop on by Town Center Mall at Cobb. I am Kyoko Salon. God bless you all. Have a good night.
Take care.